Hello, baseball fans. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we are back with our 1908 Chicago White Sox replay featuring replay baseball. And this is game number 10, and the White Sox start a three-game series against the Browns in St. Louis, where they will once again face their early season nemesis for the Browns, the Rube Waddell. And one little change. I actually kind of redid or made my own version of the boards. And you can see with the replay boards, if you have the game or if you do not, some of the columns get quite wordy with some of the different things you need to check. And so what I did, and I guess you could say I made my own replay version of the Merino boards for APA, but I kind of just consolidated things for each column and took out the descriptions. I'm familiar enough with the game to know what to check, so just kind of made it more concise. I actually also incorporated some of the umpire charts into the results as well. Tweaked a couple of the results so they evened out across the different columns, and finally expanded some of the numbers. An example there of one example would be a hit into the outfield, which maybe had a 5 range or 5 number range on the original charts. And I kind of broke that down between the different outfield areas, left, right, and center. So just little things like that. And I did it to hopefully make the game go a little bit quicker for me. We'll see how that works. So this will be our experiment using them. So before we get to the game, I'll also be using, if rare plays come up, I'll be using my Glory Days Baseball rare play chart, which again is a little bit more extensive. So with that, let's get the lineups, and we'll get going here from Sportsman's Park in St. Louis. For the visiting White Sox, Patsy Doherty leads off in left, Fielder Jones in center, George Davis at second, John Anderson in right, Freddie Perrant at short, Jiggs Donahue at first, Lee Tannehill at the hot corner, Billy Sullivan back behind the plate, and Frank Smith will be opposing Waddell on the mound today for the Sox. For the homestanding Browns, who in real life came into this game with a record of 7-3, the Sox were 4-6 after this game. Currently 4-4 in the replay, as their first game against Detroit ended in a tie. But for the Browns lineup, Danny Hoffman in right, Charlie Jones in center, George Stone in left, Jimmy Williams at second, Bobby Wallace at short, Hobie Ferris at third, Tom Jones at first, Tubby Spencer behind the plate, and again Waddell on the mound. And Waddell has a stamina of 31, which basically means that is going to get him to his fourth plate appearance against John Anderson. And for Frank Smith, it's 30, which will get him to the fourth plate appearance of George Stone. So we are ready to go. And with that, Ed Hahn will step up against Waddell, and let's get this baby going. So we go to column 5 to start it out, and that is going to be 1K for Hahn. If he gets on, that will be a steal. And for Waddell, 2K, which means a strikeout. So a total of 3 in column 5, and that is going to be a ground ball down to second base. That'll turn into a strikeout with Waddell's K rating, 1 down. And Waddell, of course, probably along with Walter Johnson, the preeminent strikeout pitchers of the dead ball era. You can throw Smokey Joe Wood in that mix, as well as Christy Mathewson. But back to column 5, and this is going to be a total of 7, and again, a possible K chance, and that instead is going to be a walk. So Waddell, showing both his strikeout capability and wildness early in this one, and we go to the power column. It's going to be a total of 18 in column 6, and that's going to be a fly ball to left field. 2 down. Back to first goes Fielder Jones. That brings up the cleanup hitter George Davis. And 1's across the board, and that would have normally been a strikeout. Instead, 21 will be a It's going to be a single into left field and a possible error. So out in left field for the Brownies, not very good, is George Stone, 26 or more, and that is going to be an error, a two-base error at that. So going all the way over to third is Fielder Jones. On the E, and down to second base with a single. So runners at second, third for John Anderson. One second here. Okay, I had the actual lineups wrong. Okay, got that glitch sorted out, and we're just going to leave it and play it as is. I screwed up, but that'll bring up Freddie Perrant. So 2 outs, runners on second, third, column 6 for Perrant, and that's going to be a total of 35. Fly out to left field, so my screw up does not cost Waddell and the Browns a run. As we head to the bottom of the first inning, 2 hits. No runs, no errors, 2 left for the Sox, and Browns coming up, no score. So Frank Smith set to go to Danny Hoffman. We have our first defensive result of the day, and that's going to be shortstop. So total of 14, that'll be a possible error. And again, dead ball at its finest, that will be an E6. So Browns, Hoffman, first runner on, as Freddie Perrant boots that. And Charlie Jones, a batter, again going to column 6, and it's going to be a total of 32, and that'll be a pop fly to third base, 1 down. Yeah, I do like these. I just like, the charts are really great, and they're very well done in this game. I like things to be a little less busy, I guess. So that's what prompted me to do these kind of trimmed down version of the charts, but so far working well. So column 1 for George Stone, and that's going to be a strikeout. 4 total there, 2 down. And Frank Smith looking to get out of the first without that error by Perrant coming back to haunt him. Going into column 3, it's going to be a total of 16. So 16, and let me make sure. 3 and 3 and 5. Yep, that is going to be a 16, and 16 in column 3. That is going to be a triple. And if center fielder has a 5-arm, batter out at third and credit with a double. So for the White Sox, out in center field, Fielder Jones only has a 3. So we have our first run of the ball game on Jimmy Williams' triple, and again, that error coming back to haunt the Sox. That's kind of been a bugaboo for them early in this replay as the Browns jump off to a 1-0 lead and an unearned run for Frank Smith. Bobby Walsh, the batter, runner at third, 2 down. Column 3 again, and this is going to be a total of 13. And that will be a line drive to shortstop. Spearing that is Perrant to make up for that earlier miscue. But Browns jump off to a 1-0 lead on the strength of a triple and the game-opening error. Top of the second inning, Browns lead this 1-0. Jiggs Donahue facing Waddell. And into column 1 we go. It's going to be a total of 46. And bases empty, that will be a strikeout. So Waddell, his second K of the game. Lee Tannehill, the batter. Defensive check, third baseman. So going to be a total of 20 in column 4, and that is going to be... Okay, this is one of the modifications I made. Basically, 20 and 21 are singles where you can check the umpire chart. 20 is weighted more for an out, and 21 weighted more for a hit. I just combined 20 and 21 on my cards and made it even safe, or I'm sorry, Yeah, even, safe, odd, out. So here we go. Our first umpire play, and that is odd, and that's going to be a ground out. So 2 down there, and Billy Sullivan, the batter, facing Waddell, his first at bat of the day. And going to column 2, we got 6s for both. And going to be a total of 56. So that is going to be a fly ball to left field, and Ray's number is 3. And that is going to get down for a 2-out single. So Billy Sullivan, and again, the defensive rating of the, defensive rating for the Browns, that's going to be an F7. So his rating is higher. So gets to that, makes the catch, and 3 up, 3 down go the Sox in the second inning. Bottom of the second, Hobie Ferris leads it off for the Browns against Smith, and going to column 5. And that is going to be a total of 30. So 30 in column 5, that's going to be a fly out to center field. Fielder Jones takes care of that and brings up Tom Jones. Tom Jones, the Browns' first baseman, his first plate appearance of the day, column 3. And that is going to be a total of 6 in column 3, and 6 will be a fly ball. And actually, we go to the ballpark there. So column 3, and that makes it a fly out to right field, 2 down. Catcher Tubby Spencer up. And column 3 for Spencer, and that is going to be a total of 13. And line drive to shortstop. So 3 up, 3 down as Smith gets his bearings, and we go to the top of the third, still 1-0, St. Louis in the lead. And leading off against Waddell, his counterpart, Frank Smith. And it's going to be a total of 5 in column 5. That will be a ground ball down to third base, 1 down. Back to the top of the order for the Sox. And Patsy Doherty struck out to start the game off. Back to column 1 we go. 5s, and same result. Struck him out. So K number 3 for the Rube. Brings up Fielder Jones, 2 down. Column 3, and going to be a total of 70. And that's going to be a pop fly to third base. So drifting into foul territory to take care of that, it's Hobie Ferris. We have another 3 up, 3 down inning for the Rube, heading to the bottom of the third, 1-0, Browns in the lead. And Waddell starts the inning off. Going to column 5, and a total of 9. And Waddell draws a walk from his counterpart. Waddell, not a threat to steal, and Danny Hoffman is a 2. We're actually going to play a little hit and run here. So hit and run ratings, Frank Smith. So for Smith hit and run, that is a 1 and a total of 6. And that is going to be a ground ball into the hole. Check blue die against the fielder's defense, and it's going to make a nice diving play and retires the batter at first. Runners advance 1 base. So Hoffman gets his job done as Waddell goes down to second. 1 down, Charlie Jones, the batter. And we have a defensive check on the second baseman. And going to be a total of 13 in column 4. And that is going to be a possible error. So second base for the Sox, a rating of 46 is George Davis. And Davis makes a fine play, 14. and infield actually was back there. So that's going to be a ground ball, and Waddell is going to go over to third on that, hit to the right side of the infield. 2 down, runner on third base. And George Stone, the third place hitter up for the Brownies. And back we go to column 4 and back to second base. And 22 in column 4, and that is going to be a single and ticks off the fielder's glove. Coming in to score is Waddell. The Browns take a 2-0 lead on the strength of that single. Nice diving play out there by George Davis, just couldn't haul it in. Jimmy Williams up, batter on first base. And we go to column 3, total of 32. And that will end the inning. A fly ball to short right field. Coming in to take care of that is John Anderson. So the Browns, another run on a hit, and they lead 1. We're through 3, 2-0. St. Louis in the lead here at Sportsman's Park. And starting the top of the 4th, George Davis, Waddell. Very, very good thus far, and total of 32 in column 6. Going to be a pop fly to third base, 1 down. Cleanup hitter John Anderson. John Anderson singled. He has the only Sox hit of the day thus far. As we go to column 5 and a total of 8. And that is going to be a walk. So Waddell's first free pass to go with his 3 strikeouts. And Anderson on base for the second time. And let's see if the Sox want to maybe play a little hit and run here. And they're going to do it. So Waddell, he has a 3, total of 4. And it's going to be a ground out to first base. Runners advance 1. So 2 down, and Anderson now in scoring position. 3 unassisted on that put out. Brings up Jiggs Donahue, the Sox first baseman. Donahue struck out his first time up as well, going to column 6 this time. Going to be a total of 17, and if this is an out, it will become a strikeout. And that's what it is indeed. So Waddell strikes out Donahue for the second time, and again there, K ratings on pitcher's card. Any out in that scenario becomes a strikeout. So Waddell very proficient there, as mentioned earlier, and we're heading to the bottom of the 4th inning, 2-0, St. Louis in the lead. And in real life, they won this game 2-1 as Waddell pitched a 4-hitter. So Bobby Wallace started things off, and we go to the power column. It's going to be a total of 33. And it'll be a pop fly to second base, 1 down. Yeah, I like these charts. I get the results a lot quicker when I'm not looking at walls of text. So, and actually anyone who has who plays replay baseball, if you want a copy of these boards, just leave a comment and I will email it to you, or just shoot me an email at glorydaysgames19@yahoo.com as well, if you would like a copy of my condensed, I guess you could say, replay baseball boards. So up now, Hobie Ferris, and we go to column 3, and total of 32, and 32 in column 3 is going to be a fly ball to right field. Coming in to take care of that easily is Anderson, 2 down. Tom Jones, the batter, going to the power column, and it's going to be a total of 23 there, and it's going to be a single back up the middle. So 2 out base hit for Jones. And that brings up the catcher, Tubby Spencer. Spencer today, line drive to Perrant in his first at bat. And back to column 6 we go, total of 18. And it's going to be a fly ball to deep left field, but going back with plenty of room is Doherty. Side retired. So 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left as we head to the 5th inning. St. Louis leading this 2-0. Lee Tannehill set to face it off against Waddell. And we are going to have a defensive check. It's going to be on the shortstop. And so for the Browns, it's going to be a total of 7. And it's going to be a 6-3 put out, 1 down. As Bobby Wallace, very good glove for the Brownies at the shortstop position. Billy Sullivan, the batter. Going to column 5. And going to be a total of 36, and that will be a strikeout. So Waddell, is strikeout number 5 for him on the day, and that brings up the pitcher, Frank Smith, trailing 2-0. He's going to stay in and hit, and go to column 2 for a total of 51. And Waddell kicks, fires, and that is going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher. And Waddell, not a very good fielder, but he snags this one, whips it over to first base. And Jones squeezes it, 3 up, 3 down, go the Sox. We're halfway through, 2-0. St. Louis in the lead, as Waddell will lead it off in the 5th for the home-standing Browns. And a defensive check on the third baseman, and Waddell, it's only going to be a total of 2, so an easy put out there. As excellent defensively is the hot corner Sox first baseman Tannehill. So 1 down, back to the top of the order, Danny Hoffman. Hoffman reached on an error, scored, grounded out to short. And into the power column we go. It's a total of 53. And it's going to be a single down the line. So we roll 1d6 here, and if it's greater than the outfielder's defense, which is a 3, he's going to get a double. And Hoffman turns it on and hustles into second base for a 1-out double. And that's an example there of where these boards are making things a little bit quicker. Instead of reading through a paragraph, it's basically just in the board in a single, very short sentence. So 1 down, Charlie Jones up, Frank Smith. Can't afford to get the Sox in any bigger of a hole here. Going to be a total of 20. And 20 in column 6, and it's going to be a fly ball to right field. So Anderson goes back, squeezes that, 2 down. Brings up George Stone. Stone today has struck out, singled, has an RBI. And defensive check on the shortstop. So total of 14 there, and that'll be a potential error check. And again, Perrant is abysmal. And that is going to be 42 and E6, so his second error of the game, and that puts runners at the corners. So luckily able to recover to avoid Hoffman coming in to score, and that brings up Jimmy Williams. Brown's cleanup hitter, runners to the corners, 2 down, can blow this baby wide open. And column 6 going to be a total of 17, and that's a deep fly into left field, but going back again with plenty of room. Doherty hauls it in, and bullet dodge. So the Browns get a hit, leave 2. No runs, we're through 5, 2-0, St. Louis in the lead. And Patsy Doherty made that fine play, set to lead it off for the Sox here in the 6th inning. Waddell kicks, delivers, column 3, and it's a total of 5. And Waddell, shallow fly ball to left field, coming in to glove that is Stone, 1 down. So Rube, a 1-hitter going thus far, and he is on his game. Sox might want to get some shiny objects to try and distract him, column 3. And 3 is going to be a total of 4, and that'll be a shallow fly ball to right field. So 2 up, 2 down. And Waddell, if you are familiar with him, could be distracted. Opposing teams sometimes even brought puppies to the ballpark to distract him, or regaled him with stories about hunting dogs, which he was very interested in. Column 2, and Davis, that's going to be a total of 57. So 57, and that's going to be a fly to left field, a defensive check, and number is higher than the Rays number 2, and that's going to be a nice running play out in left field by George Stone. 3 up, 3 down again go the Sox. And they are running out of time as we go to the bottom of the 6th. St. Louis, 2-0 lead. Waddell is solid. Frank Smith pitching to Bobby Wallace. Defensive check on second base. It's going to be a total of 20, and that will be a ground ball. So this will be a potential infield single, or again, this is one where I incorporated the umpire rating in there. So even safe, odd out, and he even beats it out. So Bobby Wallace legs that out. Slight bobble there. He'll get credit for a hit, however. So the Browns have their leadoff runner on. Brings up Hobie Ferris, who is a fine bunter, and that's what he's going to do. Infield at regular depth, and it's going to be a bunt to the first baseman, and a total of 7, and that is going to be sacrifice and a possible error. So at first base for the Sox, 55, and makes the play. So going down to second, 3-1 on the put-out sacrifice hit for Ferris. And the Browns, runner in scoring position, 1 down, Tom Jones up. Jones today is singled and flown out to right field. Going to the power column, 6, 32. That's not going to get it done, however. It's a pop fly, and wandering into foul territory to pull that one in is Tannehill for the Sox, 2 down. Tubby Spencer, the batter. Smith going to get rid of him right now, and 18 going to do it. That's a deep fly ball to left field, but again, plenty of room out there for Doherty to make the play. So leadoff single is wasted as we are through 6 innings. St. Louis cleaned it at 2-0 lead, and Waddell looking stellar on the hill, facing John Anderson here to start 7th. As we go to column 2, and it's going to be a total of 12. And that's going to be a single, and we're going to have a stolen base attempt as well. So here, this has to be higher than the catcher's defensive rating, which is a 4 for Tubby Smith. So this doesn't necessarily bode well for Anderson, who tries to steal, and 5, yes, he's in there. So Smith with the stolen base, or Anderson, sorry, making things happen for the Sox with his feet. And part of that attributed to the fact that Waddell sometimes did not focus on the runner at first base. And column 3 we go, total of 44. And 44 in column 3, that's going to be a fly ball to left field, and against a left-handed pitcher, that's going to be a single. Runners advance 2. So the Sox are on the board, and we've matched our real-life score here in the 7th. RBI single by Perrant, who makes up, at least in part, for a costly error early in the game. So 2-1, and Waddell might be unraveling here. Hits 2 and 3, played a run for the Sox. As we go to column 5, and going to be a total of 22. It'll be a strikeout if it's an out. 22 in column 5 is actually a walk, and now we go to the M column. So Waddell is definitely unraveling. So a total of 10 and a potential pass ball. And that's what's going to happen. So pass ball, and going down to second, third is Perrant and Donahue, and the Sox on the comeback trail here. Lee Tannehill, you can give them a lead with a base hit. And going to column 6, the power column, going to be a total of 61. He gets into that, and it's going to be a double down the line. And runners go 2 bases, clears the sacks, and coming in to score, Perrant and Donahue, and Waddell has officially fallen apart. Sox take a 3-2 lead on the 1-out double. As Tannehill, the hero of the moment, and Waddell, he is still fresh. There's going to be some rustling down in the bullpen. And up and throwing down there, Bill Graham. So Waddell trying to get out of this without further damage, and still has yet to record an out here in the 7th inning as we go to column 2. And that's going to be a total of 17 in column 2, and 17. So strikeout or F8 sac fly if runner on third, and blue die is even. So that's going to be a shallow fly out to center field instead of the strikeout. Not deep enough to get home or run, and that's another thing that I kind of condensed from what's on the regular board, which gets the result a lot quicker. Frank Smith, he's going to go ahead and hit with a 3-2 lead now. So Waddell facing his counterpart in column 2, and we're going to have a ballpark check here. So 55 and a 3 makes it a 56. And 56, defense higher than the raised number, so again we have to go to the ballpark chart. And 4. So raised number will be a 3, and out in left field for the Brownies, again a fine defensive outfielder out there, George Stone, makes the play. And that will actually be deep enough to bring home a, actually no, will not, runner on second base. So he's going to hold. Back to second goes Tannehill. So fine defensive play by the Brownies left fielder Stone, and 2 outs. Runner on second base, Waddell to Doherty, column 1, and that's bad news for Doherty. Swing and miss. Waddell regains his composure and strikes him out, but big inning for the Sox. They strike for 3 hits, 3 runs, leave 1, as we are heading to the 7th inning stretch, and the visitors lead this 3-2 over Waddell and the Browns. And Waddell set to lead it off. And he is still fresh, but I think we're going to do a pinch hitter. So Waddell's day will come to an end. And going to the bullpen, the veteran Bill Dineen will actually be the one who comes on to finish this out. And pinch hitter for the Brownies is going to be Roy Hartzell. So Hartzell hit .267 in 1908. And a disappointing effort for Rube. He ends up going a total of 7 innings and pitched fine until the 7th. He finally is credited with 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. And he had a total of 2 walks, and I think struck out 7. Struck out a total of 6, actually. But he is on the hook to lose this now if the Browns can't get something going. So Smith suddenly in the position to be the winner in this one as we go to column 5, total of 7. And that's going to be a walk. That's not how you start it, though. So going down to first base is Hartzell, top of the order, and we're going to play some small ball here, as was usually the case. Hoffman going to bunt this, and bunt goes back to the pitcher, a total of 12. And it is going to be a sacrifice and a possible hit. So we go to the umpire chart, and defense for the pitcher. Hoffman's speed is a 4. And defense of our pitcher Smith is a 4 as well. So he's going to be safe. He's going to beat this out actually on a roll of 5 or less, and he does. Legs out in an infield single. Going down to second base is Hartzell. So Brownie's in business, and coming up on his fatigue point in 2 batters is Frank Smith. So Charlie Jones, nobody out, runners on first and second. Big Ed Walsh, who's scheduled to start tomorrow, is up in the Chicago bullpen. Column 5 for Charlie Jones. And it's going to be a total of 28. And 28 in column 5, it's going to be a fly ball to right field, and the runners are going to have to hold. So big out there for Smith. George Stone, the batter now, left-hander. column 6, and that is going to be a ballpark check for the home run. So 1 on the pitcher's column. And for a left-handed batter, it's going to be a total of 8 in column 6, and that is going to be a single plus 1, so bases are going to be loaded now. And here's the dilemma for Smith. That was his fatigue batter, so if he gives up another base runner at this point, he's going to go to his B grades. Column 5, and column 5 to Jimmy Williams, going to be a total of 6, and it should be a good result. And no, actually first base is occupied, so 2 balls. We'll redo it. Column 1 now, and column 1 is going to be a total of 38, and 38 is going to be a ground ball. Infielders are halfway, and that's a 5-4-3 double play, and masterful pitching by Smith to get out of it. So the Brownies load the bases on a couple of hits and a walk, cannot take advantage of that, and we head to the 8th inning, 3-2, Sox in the lead. And Big Ed Walsh, he is set to come in if needed. Again, he is a scheduled starter tomorrow, but he has no problem getting in an inning or 2 in relief, as top of the 8th inning, Fielder Jones to face Bill Dineen, the new St. Louis pitcher. As we go to column 3. And it's going to be a total, left-handed batter will be a total of 13, and it's going to be a line drive to shortstop, 1 down. So self-defense play by Bobby Wallace. He spears it with 2 hands, 1 down for George Davis. 2s across the board, and going to be a total of 16. And 16 in column 2 is a single into right, and Davis is going to try and steal. And again, has to be 5 or 6, and second stolen base against Tubby Spencer today. So the Sox, small ball at its finest, 1 down, runner on second base, John Anderson the batter. And it's going to be a total of 18 in column 3, and it's going to be a double down the left field line, and runners advance 2 bases, so coming in to score obviously is Davis, and the Sox extend their lead to 4-2. And John Anderson might be the player of the game at this point. He's got a double, 2 singles, and a walk, stolen base, RBI, and a run scored, and a very important run there. Freddie Perrant, the batter, still 1 down for Dineen. And going to column 3 again. And it's going to be a total of 12, and this time going to be a line drive to the first baseman, and just getting back to second is Anderson, 2 down. So the Sox hitting Dineen hard, 2 of them right at fielders though, Jiggs Donahue the batter. As we go to column 5, and it's going to be a total of 30. So that'll be a fly ball to center field, and Dineen's going to get out of the inning. Is coming in to take care of that is Charlie Jones. So the Sox, an important insurance run, couple of hits. Stolen base was very important there. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning, 4-2, Chicago in the lead. And Frank Smith, again, he hits his B grades if he allows a base runner. Bobby Wallace wants to make that happen right now. Going to be a total of 12, though. That's not going to get it done. Line drive to first base, 1 down. And a fine play out there by Jiggs Donahue. Hobie Ferris, the batter. As we go to column 1, total of 19, and that's going to be an infield single. And we check the shortstop for an error, and we know how that's turned out. Perrant already has 2 of them in this game. And an 16, and this time he actually makes a play. So off his glove, but no time to retire the runner at first base. And on his B grades now is Frank Smith. We're going to give him 1 batter. Walsh is ready to come in if needed. A defensive check, second base. And that might be the redeeming factor. Second baseman for the Sox, and that is going to be a total of 21 in column 4, and that will be a single off the glove. Runners on second scores, not the case. And the next base is an open, so we won't have a steal, and that's going to be it for Smith. So Smith cannot get out of the 8th inning. He ends up going 7 1/3. So at this point, he's given up 9 hits and 2 runs, one of them unearned. So he's on the hook, but on the hook for both base runners. And he has two walks and only a single strikeout, it looks like. Yep, 2 walks and 1 strikeout. So Big Ed Walsh is going to be the pitcher. And he'll try and get the save here. Not a bad day for Smith. Made big pitches when he had to. So Walsh, and they're going to go with Walsh to try and get the final 5 outs. And again, he will still start tomorrow, so he has a chance to pick up a save today and a win tomorrow. Stepping in is Tubby Spencer, the catcher. First and second, 1 down. Walsh, column 6. And column 6, 36, and going to be a total of 37. And struck him out. Big strikeout by Ed Walsh. So he comes off, retires Spencer. And with 2 outs, we definitely need to have another pinch hitter. So Deneen, his day is done. And Lou Graham will come in. He was up earlier, did not replace Waddell. So going down the Browns bench, Emmett Hedrick will be the pinch hitter. So Hedrick, a left-hander, but he hit only .215 in 1908. And for Deneen, a single, somewhat unsuccessful inning. Gives up 2 hits and a run. No walks, no strikeouts. And Graham again will finish this day for Waddell, who at this point stands to be the loss. So Hedrick, Walsh ready to go. Column 5 we go. 6s for both, total of 30. And it's going to be a fly out to center field. So Walsh comes in, gets it done, retires the first 2 he faces. And the Browns again strand 2 base runners. And we head to the top of the 9th. 4-2, Sox in the lead. And things looking good with Walsh on the mound. Tannehill set to lead it off against Graham. Column 6, and going to be a total of 17. Fly ball to left field. He drives that deep, but not deep enough. 1 down. Billy Sullivan, the batter. Column 5, we go to for Graham, total of 34. And that's going to be a strikeout. So Graham maybe should have come in the last inning. Ed Walsh is going to go ahead and hit as the Sox want him to close this out. Column 6 we go, total of 32, and that's going to be a pop fly to the third baseman. So quick work by the Sox by Graham as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. He does his job. And up to the Brownie batters now to see if they can crack Big Ed Walsh. Entering his 2nd inning of work, looking for the save here. Column 2 starts this baby off. So going to be a total of 14, and 14 is going to be a single right back up the middle. So Danny Hoffman, he's going to try and steal too. And he has to get a 5 or a 6. And 2 for 2 with steals needing those numbers. We can't keep that going. And coming up firing, and Billy Sullivan guns him down in a huge caught stealing. Has 1 down, and that erases the potential tying run coming to the plate as Charlie Jones comes up now with 1 out. Going to be a defensive check on the shortstop. And at short for the White Sox is a 3, so a total of 9 in column 4, and that's going to be a 6-3 putout. Perrant on the hook for possibly his 3rd error of the game. Instead responds there. 2 down, and Stone, last hope for St. Louis. Column 3, and it's going to be a total of 13, and that should do it. A line drive to shortstop, and Perrant comfortably handles that. Game, set, match. So the Browns get a hit, but he is erased trying to steal, and this one is over. The Sox come from behind against Rube Waddell to secure a 4-2 win. So the Brownies definitely had the most opportunity and wasted them. The Sox, 5 of their 6 hits came in between the 7th and 8th inning. So your final line score, the White Sox, 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. The Brownies, 2 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. And winning pitcher is going to be Frank Smith. Big Ed Walsh with a save as he comes in to pitch the final 1 2/3 innings, faces 6 batters, gives up a single hit, and strikes out 1. And again, we'll see Walsh again tomorrow. Waddell's a loser. He goes 7 innings, gives up 4 hits, 3 runs all earned, walks 2, fans 6. And our offensive player of the game, or I guess player of the game period, I'm going to have to stick with John Anderson. He had a big day at the plate for the Sox. He went 3 for 3, 2 singles, a double, and a walk, scored a run, stole a base, and drove in a key insurance run in the 8th inning. So the Sox moved to 5 and 4 on this 1908 replay. And again, I do like, I think it went a little bit quicker, a little bit smoother for me with my revised replay boards, which again just kind of condense a lot of the text. So thank you as always for watching, and when we're back, I'm actually getting ready to head to a friend's house to watch the Anthony Joshua Andy Ruiz rematch, which should be interesting. My thoughts on that, I think it's going to come down to if Joshua is able to do what he should have done the first time, and that's keep Ruiz at distance. He let him inside and in the pocket far too easily in their first match. And if that happens again, Ruiz has some of the fastest hands in the heavy, if not the fastest hands in the heavyweight division right now. He is deceptively quick for a guy who looks like he does. I think Joshua will definitely be a lot more aware of that. I think he definitely underestimated the first time. So we'll see. It'll be an interesting fight. But again, the key is going to be Joshua keeping range, using his jab, and keeping Ruiz at the end of his jab and in position to take a follow-up right hand. If he can't do that, Ruiz gets inside, lets those hands go. Joshua's going to go to 0-2 against him. So we'll see how that turns out. But anyway, until next time, and again, Stanley Ketchel will start his middleweight career replay featuring Glory Days Boxing, which can be ordered at sidelinestrategy.com. And his first fight will be against Antoine Eccles. So hopefully be a good start for Ketchel. He should, I think, take care of Eccles fairly easily. I'm predicting that one won't go more than 4 rounds. So we will see, though. So I hope everyone has a great Saturday. Till next time, keep rolling for the fences. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we'll see you.